As the world set their sights on another Olympic Games set to be hosted in Tokyo, we think it's only fair to take a look at one of the athletes that stole the show the last time the Games was held in this wonderful city. Robert Hayes, also known as Bullet Bob, was an enigma that still has fans reminiscing on some of his mind-blowing performances. The '64 Olympic Games on a whole was one of the best so far, from the revolution of distance running with the Kiwis to a super 4x1 leg by Hayes. It was something any track and field fan wouldn't mind reliving. Whenever the name Bob Hayes is mentioned today, one question seems to arise almost every time, and that's, could he have been the fastest man to ever live? While we might not be able to answer that question, we can surely find out just how fast he was. The nickname Bullet Bob might have given you an idea as to how good he was, but I can assure you, the name was no exaggeration. In 1963, at the Mount Sac Relays, 20-year-old Hayes introduced the world to a level of speed that they had never seen before. He ran the first ever sub-10 ever recorded in history, with an illegal tailwind of 4.3 meters per second. His 9.9 on Cinder was just the beginning. He would move on to reintroduce the world to speed. In the 100-yard dash he ran 9.1 seconds, which would have been a new world record if wind gauges were present at the meet. Looking at the fact that the world record now stands at 9.07 seconds, and also that Usain Bolt ran 9.1, it really shows the raw talent of this man. In fact, he did run 9.1 twice at the same meet, but these times were not ratified as official world records. One performance that has not been verified but is held in high regards in the US sporting world is that Bob Hayes once ran a 60-yard dash in 5.28 seconds. Far from what anyone would consider humanly possible. His best official time though was 5.9 seconds, only bettered by Herb Washington who ran 5.80 seconds, almost 10 years later. Assuming this 5.2 timing was true, that means he would have been averaging 10.39 meters per second in 54 meters. That's way faster than any other human being have accelerated. It is even comical to think he would have ran 5.7 seconds in the 60 meters. Even if that was not real, his 5.9 would have brought him to at least 6.45 seconds over 60 meters, which would place him 8th all time. How does his top speed compare to modern-day sprinters? Well, this is the interesting part that many would not believe. In 1963, during his 100-yard dash at the Mount Sac Relays, Hayes reached a top speed of 12.04 meters per second. That speed is one of the fastest ever recorded in history. Only Usain Bolt has done better with a 12.35 meters per second. Other than that, it has only been equaled by Ben Johnson and Tyson Gay on synthetic tracks. The fact that he did this on a cinder track makes it even harder to believe. Clocking those speeds on a surface basically made of crushed rocks, which produce less reactive support like the modern-day track, would have anyone wondering how fast he would be going if he was here today. The conclusion for Hayes is that he was a once-in-a-lifetime athlete quite similar to Usain Bolt. And any track and field fan would be thrilled if these guys were all in the same generation. It is also unfathomable as to how his times still remain competitive even in modern days, given the massive scale of improvements since he was running over half a century ago.